Oh, it's a cheeky set of socks!
Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening everyone, and welcome to ARR Season 7 GT3 Tier 1 Round 4. We are this evening in the Laguna Seca Raceway, built in 1957, Central California, 2.2 miles long, and it is home of the notorious Corkscrew. I am joined by Saffzo. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, how you look?
Very, very good. Do you think anyone's going to get caught out by the Corkscrew this afternoon?
Yes, definitely.
I think so. I think we're going to have...
I predict there will be a 4-car pile up at Corkscrew.
4-car? Right. Okay, you don't hold up much hope for the boys then, it seems?
No, it will be towards the back.
Towards the back. Well, I for one, think they will not have any problems.
Especially if it's at night.
Well, yes. It's at night, it's late, it's dark. Fireworks and sparks are going to be thrown left, right and centre. We are at the moment with Julian Vanbrugh currently running rounds. We shall stay on board with him, see if we can get a good run here. He's actually slowing down before the last corner. I think he's probably getting ready to get a lap in. We did join a couple of minutes late, so we are 3 minutes into qualifying. However, no one has got a time in, or 2 minutes into qualifying. And they're just starting now, so we'll stay with Vanbrugh, see if we can see him. Booty says, why is Rage talking from his basement? Oh, I hope the mic settings are all good. I'll just double check. Okay, that might be better. Terribly sorry. I think it was on the different mic. Again, we are still getting through the nuances of OBS. Unfortunately, it's catching me out left, right and centre. I planned this to the hilt. I was like, right, I'm not going to have a problem like last time. I'm not going to make an absolute arse of myself. And unfortunately, straight away, I make an absolute arse of myself. But never mind. We're back on the straight and narrow. No more absolute arsing around. And hopefully we're going to see some epic racing this afternoon. Do let us know if the stream is going well as well. I did change some of the settings. Hopefully we've not got any hitching or anything like that. But do give us a shout if we do have any problems, because I will rectify them as soon as possible. So we've got some times coming up already. Let's have a look what's going on. Ryan McIntosh apparently leading the way. He's got a 122.8. I will be very surprised if we see anyone else apart from a Porsche on the top step as Ryan takes his first journey off into the kitty litter. Let's maybe stay with Malinowski, see if we can get a slightly better run round this track. Interesting, very dark. Like you say, Corkscrew's going to catch him out, you reckon?
Yeah. Yep.
Possibly. Stream is all good, but turn on the lights. Yeah, well, you know, it's one of those things. It's going to be pretty dark and dingy around here. Oh, someone is already off at the Corkscrew. Didn't see who that was. Malinowski comes through to start, or at least finish his lap. He is currently, he's up a 10th at the moment, but he's not running away with anything at the moment, so we will keep a close eye, see if anything changes with him. Currently, Malinowski is joint lead of the championship. Him and last time winner Luke Whitehead, currently 247 points each, so a battle for the championship is definitely unfolding in front of us, which is good news for us, I guess. But not so good news for Malinowski, who's unfortunately been dethroned last week by Luke. Joining him towards the pointy end of the championship, we've got Kevin Luane, who's somehow just kept his head clean and managed to keep himself up there. He's in 3rd position in the championship, and then joining him in 4th position, only 7 points behind, is Connor Wright. Then we've got Kevin Siclari, McLaren Niels, Luca Weidelich, and Vulcan in 8th. Dennis Latz in 9th place, and Nico Solman rounds out the top 10. Very good. A good job from some of these boys. Kevin Luane, I think, is probably the standout there, doing an absolutely brilliant job to keep his nose clean and keep himself in the top end of the standings so far. Malinowski has gone clear of everyone else by 2/10. I did say it would happen. Well, there you go. Malinowski putting down an absolute blinder of a banker already this afternoon. We did just...
Oh, well, he's just gone for a spin.
he's got his fast lap in, so he's all right to have a spin or two now, I guess.
Very nearly. I don't know if they did have a collision, but if they didn't, they very nearly had a collision with Hubert Simensky. It was... I don't know if they were on the lap, but it was very close to a collision, if not a collision.
Very close indeed, it looks like. On board at the moment with Luca Weidelich, currently doing very well in 3rd position. That's probably the highest we've seen him all season. It's been somewhere kind of lingering around the middle pack, I would say. The enduro expert for the FTW racing team, not had the best luck this season so far, but he's in a Porsche and it's around Laguna Seca, so you know, good things are going to come, I think. But I think we'll be very, very surprised if we don't have anything else but a Malinowski front row. He's been the class of the field this year so far, and he's in a Porsche round the Porsche track, so I don't think we're going to have too many surprises at the top end of the grid. People already congratulating him on the win in the Discord, which is quite funny. So I don't think we've got any penalties or anything going forward. I don't think we've got any race bans or anything like that, so I think we're quite full. Luca Weidelich improving then up to 2nd position. He's only, that's close, 100th away from Malinowski's time, so very, very close at the top end. And that's David Martinez, the first of the Martinezes, in 3rd position, look, in a BMW. Great job from him.
Yep. Not too far away from the Porsches either, only 2.5 tenths. Speaking of Porsches, it's now Porsche 123 as McIntosh goes 3rd. Yeah,
we literally just jumped on board as he popped in that time for 3rd position. Kevin Owain's on a fast lap as well. No, he's not. He's coming out of the pit. That's why he's on a fast lap. Never mind. Samir Foch. Let's see what he can do. He is currently in the Ferrari, the Haas team, but without the money. So just Haas then. I heard that the crash in Monaco in Free Practice 3 cost Haas £500,000 ahead of the qualifying session, which they didn't join in. £500,000. Apparently, didn't Gunther come out and tell them, right boys, let's not have any mistakes, seeing as we're probably going to come last anyway. Let's not cost us any money. And then, unfortunately, Mick goes out and writes off the front of the car. It was not very good at all. He did have a little cry afterwards. Have you seen the video? Have a little cry in his paddock, bless him.
I did not.
Samir then ruins his lap and jumps into the pit. Last-ditched attempt. Luckily, he had a hot button equipped and managed to save himself any penalties or anything like that. Excuse me. Right. So we're on board with Malinowski at the moment. I don't think anyone else is going faster. Hugo Merles is currently on a faster lap, so maybe we'll stay with him so we can't board with Hugo. He's 2 tenths up currently. That would put him roughly in the middle part of the top 10, probably with Cannabeach, something like that. So we'll see what he can do. Which country is Luca Weidelich? I can find out. I'm just going to go on a hunch and say Germany. But I will for sure find out for you. Let's have a look. Where is Luca from? I'm sure it has his nationality on here somewhere. Standings. Luca Weidelich, where is he?
Meanwhile, Malinowski has just improved his time.
Jesus.
Now, 121.963.
Luca is indeed German. Yeah. So Hugo Merles then coming across the line. I think it was a bit of a scrappy end to the lap, so he doesn't improve, unfortunately. Tortellini is currently up on his time, and he's, like you say, he's improved a couple of hundredths. in front of Luca. But yeah, Porsche 123. Are you surprised? I'm not.
No, not really.
Nope.
I am surprised by the 567 from Ferrari there.
Yes, yeah, obviously the Ferrari is doing very well, but you've got Kevin Seclari, the anomaly. Oh, that was I think that was a Bentley off. I think that was Marlon, actually. No, it was a McLaren. Saw him run to the pit straight away. He gets it all wrong, going through 6. Corkscrew being dealt with brilliantly by Malinowski there. Really good stuff from him. Mr. Tortellini himself. Any Mercs on the grid tonight? I think we've got 1 or 2 Mercs, but they're unfortunately a little bit further down. I can't for the life of me remember who drives around in the Mercedes, but there are a couple of Mercedes a little bit further down the grid, which we will join in a minute. And Malinowski does gain on his leading position by a couple of hundredths to put himself almost 2 tenths clear. So good stuff from him. Valentin Chorus is also on a speedy lap. So's Cannabich and so's Luke Whitehead. But let's, like we say, jump down a little bit and see if we can see one of those Mercedes. I'm not sure where the Mercedes are, but they are here. Who's in the Mercedes? I can never remember. Maybe they're not with us. Someone who hasn't been with us for the beginning of this session, who everyone normally likes to know what's going on with, is this man. It is Mr. Black Goldsaw. He is out on a lap at the moment, but he's not actually put one in, so slight delay. Only 3 minutes to go. Talk about leaving it late.
Yeah, only one that's set a time so far.
Yep, the only man. And
he's only going to have time for, what, 2 timed laps?
Yeah, it's not a long lap round here. It's surprisingly quick, but looking down that grid, actually, Marcel Kleinsmith's not put in a brilliant lap. He's a good second and a bit off the nearest. So maybe he hasn't put anything together. So Black Goldsaw, like you say, no time set. Interesting. Let us know if the quality of the stream ever dips, boys. If we get any skipping or anything like that, or missing frames, please let us know. I'll just dial back the settings. I think I've got them slightly wrong. Been a bit ambitious. So do tell me if it becomes unwatchable, and I'll change it over before the race starts. I probably do it anyway, but do let us know if there's noticeable issues, and I'll get that fixed in a minute. As Black Goldsaw is on a lap, and he is, well, he's millions of tenths up because he hasn't set a lap just yet, but people are slowly improving. Prima Sand is up, Anthony Fernandez is up, Vulcan is up, Julian Vanbrugh's up a real big amount, so it's good to see from him because he's right at the moment down in 27th, but we're all interested in this man. We are on Black Goldsaw doing pretty much just a few laps here, and he comes across with his opening lap, which should be slower because his tyres need to warm up. Okay, well, there you go. It was 22nd, so he's still got a little bit of time to find, so we'll keep an eye on what Mr. Goldsaw can do. Hamza Benasim at the moment is a couple of tenths up. I think that was him going through the corkscrew there, but he's got a lot of traffic around him. The H3 man is struggling to find a position. It's like Monaco all over again.
As I believe David Martinez has just gone 4.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, he has, you're right. Luke Whitehead in 5th position with him. But this man, Hamza Benasim, on board at the moment. He's a 10th up already. He's flashing to get someone out of the way, but he's coming across the line here. And he will improve up into the top 10. So that's 9th position for him. Right, so as we enter the last minute, everyone will be on their last laps. You know who has gone pole, though? Ryan McIntosh has actually dethroned Malinowski. That is crucial at the moment. And it's by 2.5 tenths. So that is a huge margin. So really, really good stuff from Ryan. And I think... yeah, we might not see a change because Malinowski is on a lap, but he's not lighting up the screens here. Can't see much of an improvement from him at the moment. Luke Whitehead is in the pit, so no more from him, I don't think. So this pole shootout is going to be between Malinowski and Ryan McIntosh, but I think it is advantage McIntosh. That is surprising. Yep, Malinowski's off.
Gone off
into the gravel and into the tyre barrier hard, so no more from him. I think Ryan McIntosh has just earned himself his first ever pole in Season 7, which is Great news. Luca Weidelich then currently out and still putting in time. He is round about on the bubble at the moment. Not seeing a huge improvement, but he's off. That was a forced move.
That was intentional.
Yep, he didn't. He saw that there was no more improvement to be made there. Valentin Chorus is currently on a faster lap. Let's see if we can see if he can improve. And he's got Black Gold Saw right next to him, on track at least, who at the moment isn't improving either.
And Kevin Seclari's just gone off at the exact same point in the exact same way that Malinowski did. So actually, it might be the corner before Corkscrew where everyone struggles.
Chorus much better on the brakes there than Black Gold Saw, but Gold Saw has powered through the corkscrew very well. I've got an idea on both of their sector times. At the moment, Black Gold Saw's up 2/10, and this man who we're on board with, Valentin Chorus, isn't. So we might see them jump around. Black Gold Saw then jumps through the last corner.
Going to improve.
McIntosh is going to improve again. Jesus.
Well, he was going to, and then he lost a bit of speed out of the exit, so he didn't actually end up doing so.
Crucially, Black Gold Saw. Good stuff from him. Good qualifying session at the end there. Manages to come across the line and absolutely snatch 6th from Kevin Seclari. That is huge for the championship for him. If he can hold that position, that would be massive. Right, boys, I am just going to quickly pause the stream and just lower down the settings a little bit, because we are getting a few drops here and there. So if you just bear with me for a very quick second, it will only be momentary. Okay, right. We should be back. We should be back and live there. Sorry about that. Okay, interesting then. Malinowski slightly on the back foot from Ryan McIntosh. I didn't see that coming. Ryan putting in an absolute stellar lap there. Luca Weidelich in 3rd position. He's joined on the 2nd row by, I think that's David Martinez. And he is in 4th position. Luke Whitehead and Black Gold Saw, the row behind, in 5th and 6th. Kevin Seclari, his championship rival, is in 7th position. Darren King, well, an absolute blinder of a qualifying session. He's got himself up into 8th position. Gillian Hardenberg is in 9th. Dennis Latz in 10th. 11th is Valentin Chorus. Then we've got Samir Foch in 12th position. Canna Beach in 13th. 14th is Hugo Merlers. 15th we've got Hamza Bellasim. Dominic Goltz is in 16th position. Connor Wright just behind him. Alex Torregrossa, and then Ola Pritchik in 19th. Kevin Lewin, that is big news, in 20th position. He's going to lose some points in the championship if he doesn't improve, so we'll be keeping an eye on him. Andy Vandervoel in 21st. Kieran Prendergrass, that's probably one of his worst qualifying sessions this season so far. He is in 22nd. Volkan in 23rd. Louis Zelch in 24th. We've got Hubert Semenensky in 25th. Merlon Andrade, way down in 26th. He's joined by Kevin Niels in 27th. And then McLaren Niels in 28th position. Unlike him as well, really far down. Julian Vanbrugh also quite far off the pace. He's in 29th. Prima Sand in 13th. Jordan Soanes in 31st. 32nd is Anthony Fernandez. And then at the back, and a little bit off the pace in qualifying, is Marcel Kleinschmidt. We have a slightly smaller grid by a couple of cars this race, it seems, as the championship starts to eke out before the middle break, which comes next week. So we're not live next week. We have a week off, and then we go live for the final 4 races. So what do you expect from this one, Saf?
I don't think actually much is going to happen. I imagine there's going to be one incident corkscrew and then nothing for the rest of the race.
Really?
That's going to be pretty chill, yeah.
I mean, it's a dry race, and we are at night, and also around a very, very unrelenting track. There's no places really to relax. If you think about it, there's only one straight, really, which is the main pitch straight, and even that's got a kink at the end and a hill. So if you get out of your rhythm, it's very hard to get back in again, because there's no almost reset, like you have in Spa. You've got a nice big straight. You can almost get ready as you go down, the Kemmel. But round here, it's non-stop. I think we're going to see tears into the corkscrew, like you say. But yes, interesting to see what happens. Got 24 seconds to go. I think... Whereabouts are we starting? Are we starting at the top of the corkscrew? It seems miles away from the start. I think we do start around the corkscrew way. That's going to be interesting. Who's your standout for qualifying so far?
Got to be McIntosh, surely.
McIntosh in P1, yeah. I think he's done incredibly well. David Martinez in 4th position doing a very good job. Black Gold Saw's gone to the pit. Big news. Right, well, that is huge news so far. He's gone to the pit. And no idea why. Obviously didn't get his settings in, didn't click drive in time. We are going racing. That is a bit of an upset then. The controller wizard from the Netherlands, unfortunately, is not going to start this race in 6th position. He's going to be at the back of the pack and gaining on everyone else. Unfortunately, Black Gold Saw not getting his settings dialed in. Maybe he had a crash, something might have gone wrong, who knows? But he will be joining from the pit lane. That's pretty silly, that. So, Mr. McIntosh is leading the way in the Drip Ganassi team. Do you think we're going to see any fighty-fighty moves into turn 1 from Malinowski?
Not from Malinowski, but definitely down to the grid there will be, I believe, if anyone gets a particularly good start.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Martinez, Whitehead, Weidelich all wanting a piece of that front action. But Malinowski and Ryan McIntosh are going to be very careful into turn 1, I think, as we creep towards the line here. I think we've gone green. Let's stay on board with David Martinez as we watch them all kind of scurry down towards turn 1. I think Malinowski's almost got position already. Good start from Malinowski. Jumps in front of Ryan McIntosh. And I think everyone is making it through quite clean. Going to go through the list as quick as we can. Doesn't look like we've got any people coming off, but turn 3 is normally a big one, and we have got to move. That's Vanderval. Oh, that's Luca Weidelich in the back, and he's rejoined unsafely. He's taken out someone else at the back there. That was a huge mistake. Why would you join there? You've got to hold the brakes, and that's going to cost him dearly. They're all falling over each other at the back there. That's Ola Pitic. That looks like... Black Gold Saw weaves through the magic there. And yeah, it's Vanderval, I thought, at the back there that has been caught out. That is some very, very silly mistakes to make into turn 3. But ever the wily old fox, Black Gold Saw just jumped straight up the middle of all that incident. And Darren King now up into 4th position. Valentin Chorus in 5th. Kanabich in 6th. And Malinowski getting the jump on Ryan McIntosh into turn 1. He got him done down the run towards turn 1. It was already signed, sealed, delivered. He sent it round the outside. And he's got himself up into the lead. And now it's going to be a Malinowski sing-song to the end of this race, I think. He's already half a second away. We got any news to report on a little bit further down the grid? Is there anything we missed?
Not that I've seen, no.
No. I think there is some spicy battles going on with Kieran Prendergast and the likes of. Yeah, Kieran's... holding up, I think, 15th, 16th, 17th and 18th. It's very hard, unfortunately, to see who's who here because it's quite dark and we can't see all the colours of the car. So you do have to bear with us when it comes to calling out people because it's not as instant as straight eye colour coordination and shouting out the name. It might be a little bit delayed and fumbled until we get the right person, as we did there at the crash. But yes, I think the big news from that start was Luca Weidelich. He's actually in the pit and he's probably done. Who have we got in the pit? We've got Hugo Merles coming in. Ola Pitic is huge damage there on the front of the McLaren. Sorry, it's Prima Sand, huge damage. And the Aston Martin behind of Ola Pitic, unfortunately, looks like that is the end for them. Luca, though, that is the big news from the race so far. I don't think he's going to join us any further, but we will keep an eye. I think we might see some moves. Oh, he is moving. He is going. So he hasn't thrown in the towel yet. He knows there's points for the championship still on offer. Luke Whitehead, then. Race winner last time. He's got himself up into 3rd position. And he's the leading runner of the Ferraris this afternoon. So really good stuff from him. Whereabouts is... we got Connor Wright this afternoon. I don't think I've seen him on the list, you know.
He is here.
Oh, he is. There he is. He's in 10th position. Yeah. And the Van Wheel man. There we go. Camera focuses on him going down towards turn 1. I mean, does the kink count as turn 1 here? I've no idea. Let's have a look. Now the kink is turn 1, and turn 2 is Andretti hairpin. So there you go. So the incidents happened at turn 3. I'd like to see, could we maybe have a look on lap 1, turn 3, see how Luca went off and how it happened, because we only saw him in the gravel, and then he rejoined a little bit eager, and he took out, it looked like Ola Pittick in the Aston, and then it caused absolute chaos for Prima Sand and a few others. So it'll be interesting to see what happened there. I'm sure the stewards will come in a minute, thick and fast. We'll have some inquiries on the board. But this is now, I think, a 2-horse race with Ryan McIntosh chasing down Malinowski.
So who am I checking again for lap 1,
I think
turn 3?
we're going to have a look at what happened to Luca Vidalik, number 29. 29 into turn 3, I think was where the incident happened. Darren King, this is the best place he's been all season. He's in 4th position. He's currently chasing Luke Whitehead, but a little bit further back. He's actually being hustled at the moment by this man, Valentin Chorus, in the Nissan GTR. But not a fast car this season. But Valentin's doing an absolute stellar job to keep the pressure on these guys. He's in 5th position. He's got Canna Beach for company just behind. So then, Saf, fill us in.
What happened with Vidalik? It was pretty much just Martinez outbroke. Just broke too late, went into the back of Vidalik, spun both of them round.
Oh wow, so Martinez was caught up. Yeah, he's not up there, is he?
No.
So David Martinez and Luca Vidalik come together and they knocked each other out then?
Well, it was more Martinez going. Vidalik was completely on his own. Martinez was in a battle with Whitehead. Martinez tried to outbrake Whitehead, did it too much. Pretty much used Vidalik as a brake, put Vidalik off the track, and then Suklari gave him a tap afterwards, which then sent him spinning the opposite direction.
Okay. Well, what we could do at the end of the race, because it was obviously quite a pivotal little bit of information that happened, just before we leave, do you save the replays, or are you able to access the replays at the end?
I can save the replay if needed.
Because we might just have a little look over and see what happened, but I'm not sure you'll be able to save that many laps. We'll have to see. It automatically saves a certain amount of laps, but you have to set how many in the settings pre-race. But we can double check. Kevin Suklari in the pit already. That's big news. Why has he come in already? That's interesting tactics from the 191 car. Currently 4th in the championship, or 5th, round about that kind of area. In the pit. Black Goldsaw also in the pit. Interesting. Okay. Both of the Boatleys who are fighting at the top end are in the pit. Yeah, you can save it up to an hour of the race. I think I've got mine changed, you know, Rowan. I think mine isn't quite the same as everyone else's. Could be wrong, but I've got a funny feeling I amended mine.
Replay max length 1 hour 15 for me.
Oh, perfect. You'll have it all then. We'll go through it on a little thing at the end. We can just double check what happened at the beginning, so everyone watching can see it again, because I think that'll be quite interesting to see what happened.
So will I just need to save replay at the end?
Just don't leave the session. The session stays live for ages, and we can just have a look at the replay just before we leave, after the interviews, or just before the interviews, while we wait for people, if that's okay.
Yes.
I'll have a look, see if I've got it as well, just in case, because it will be slightly better quality rather than me looking through your screen on the old Discord. Right. Malinowski stretching his legs, 1.2 away from McIntosh. Luke Whitehead chasing. Darren King is 2 seconds behind, and he's being fought quite viciously by Valentin Chorus. I think this is probably one of the closest battles we've got on track at the moment, apart from some people towards the back end who've just overtaken. Or I think that's Hardenberg in the pit. Kevin Neals in the pit. We've got lots of early pitters. Strategy coming in here. Slightly differing strategy, but Valentin Chorus is all over the back of Darren King now. This is going to be a titanic fight, I think, towards the beginning of this race. Let's go on board with Darren King and go from the fail cam. We'll watch from the rear wing. The sparks fly all over the front screen of Valentin Chorus as he gets ever closer to the gearbox of the Dow King. Corkscrew done absolutely perfectly then by Darren. Chorus is still not giving up the fight though. I think this is a great circuit. After the corkscrew, some of the corners are absolutely legendary. 9 and 10 are just some of the best corners you'll get in racing, just because of the elevation change. It is an absolutely stunning track to race on, and it's great to see these guys go absolute toe-to-toe in the darkness. Darren King, I think, is going to be a little bit of a sitting duck. He must have got an absolute brilliant start and brilliant qualifying lap in to get himself all the way up there. But he looks like he is the stopgap between everyone else. Luke Whitehead managing just to edge away in a little bit of a class on his own in third position. That's going to be great for him if he can stay there for his championship hopes. So we've got a long way to go. Oh, it looks like we've... oh, yeah, sorry, no. I was going to say we've got to change for lead, but we haven't. Ryan's still behind. Jeez, the Porsche is mad OP. It's a Porsche track. It's, what do you expect? It's Laguna Seca. It's pretty much Porsche heaven. I always get flashbacks of NSX around Laguna Seca. Do you remember that very old Top Gear episode?
Yeah.
Where Jeremy Clarkson tries to...
I think I actually rewatched that recently.
Yeah, he tries to beat his lap on the PlayStation, but actually at Laguna Seca, which I thought was really good. That was the dawn of sim racing, that was, back in the days of PlayStation 2 and Gran Turismo. It was just about becoming a little bit more realistic than it used to be. Were you a PlayStation man? Were you a Gran Turismo man?
No.
Or were you more Forza?
Forza.
Forza, yeah. I got every single Forza game all the way through to about probably 5 or 6. Yeah, didn't get the new ones. But Valentin Chorus has been doing his homework around here because he's almost got a move on Darren King. He's had to run out of it going into 3. Very well defended by Darren King. But I think this pass is inevitable, but it's just got to find the right turn to do it. It looks like it's going to happen sooner or later, but it's whether Darren King is going to be cooperative with Chorus behind. Almost got the move done into turn 1, but Darren King held him out to dry going through 3. Good old Gran Turismo. Exactly, I used to love Gran Turismo, but oh my god, they had the whole thing right when you had to get gold medals, right? And that just turned everyone with OCD into just gold hunters. I couldn't progress unless I got gold. There's no silver, there's no bronze, it had to be gold. Couldn't do it. Yeah. I used to earn all of my money by doing the oval races, which are like 50 laps long. I used to get like 1 million credits for winning. So you just do that over and over again, and you can just buy whatever cars you want. Good stuff. Found cheats everywhere. Oh, the gap has opened up slightly after that little attempt into turn 1 last time around. We're about 4 tenths now. I think Chorus has just got to get a little bit closer now. Got to wait for a little bit of a slip up from the Dow King. Gran Turismo, the best racing game besides this. Well, I have not given the new Gran Turismo a go. It does look very good, and it's got a very good esports following. I can't remember what it's called. Gran Turismo something? Do you know what the new one's called?
No.
The license tests to gold were sadistic. They were, but you had to do it, right? I spent a lot of time chasing those gold medals. Exactly, you had to. It was like... It was an addiction. You had to get gold, and you didn't get gold, you got silver. It's like, damn it! Reset. Restart. Restart. Oh, and when they added rally as well, when you go rallying with the Pikes Peak around the Tahiti Mountains. Oh, good stuff. Yes, GT Sport is what we're thinking of. Gran Turismo Sport is the pinnacle of PlayStation esports at the moment. Got a really good following. Got a really good pro esports program as well. You see a lot of people in stadiums absolutely smashing around laps. So yeah, it's got a good following. Not really jumped into that arena too much. Not really paid attention, but I think for those who know, it's quite a good iteration of Gran Turismo. But I think games like this, AC and ACC, have slightly got that pipped these days. The immersion is so good. As Valentin Chorus is ever closer to Darren King, we're going to see a move soon. It's going to happen. It's just whether Darren King lets it happen. He's not completely clean of incidents, is the Dow King. It'll be very interesting to see how easy he makes this for Valentin Chorus. Where do you think Chorus can send it?
I mean, best chance, honestly, might be the last corner.
It's a tough old corner.
Yeah. It's one of the deepest braking points, so it's one of the best places for a sim.
Yeah, I guess if you get turn 10 well, 9 and 10, and send it into 11, I think turn 1 and turn 2 is probably going to be a good hotspot. He's already trying to make it work, but it's such a, almost like a double apex. It's very hard to keep it, especially if you're around the outside like he was last time. He's got to get an inside line, but that puts you at a disadvantage going into 3 because you'll be on the outside of the next corner. So it is tricky. If you've got to hang it round the outside of turn 2, and then you'll be on the inside for turn 3, and you could probably get away with it. But I think Chorus is a little bit far away to do it this time. 3.5 tenths off, a little bit further than he was last time. And this is the battle of the field at the moment. We're seeing these two guys going toe to toe. This is helping Dennis Latz though. Looks like a good showing from Dennis Latz this afternoon. He's in 6th position. Cannabeach is just behind him. Connor Wright in 8th position. He's 4th in the championship at the moment, Connor Wright. Doing an absolute sterling job. Let's go on board and just let you guys have a listen to Valentin Chorus go toe-to-toe with the Dow King. Let's see if we can go... Is it that one? No, it's that one. There you go. The real nighttime driving with the blue lights. Oh, King getting really bad, out of shape, through 10, you might be right, the move coming into 11, Chorus is going to be on a really good run here, into turn 2, I think we're going to see some moves, it might even be done before then, Darren King could do nothing but watch, round the outside like Malinowski, into turn 1, oh, and there's a touch, but I think they're okay, oh, and Chorus has got to try again. Oh, someone's just mentioned socks.
Have they?
Why would they mention socks to us?
I don't know.
Where are our ideas of socks coming from? Can you think where we might get socks from?
It's a mystery.
Well, I've heard that there are these chaps from the UK that are selling some socks that could only be used for sim racing. Do you know what they're called?
Only for sim racing?
I've heard so. They're called Sim Socks. They sponsor AOR Season 7. And each winner from every split gets a set of these absolute lovely woven beauties. Strategically placed unique rubber grips, so you don't slip off those pedals easy. Cushioned heel support for comfort during endurance races, Saf.
Woo.
You've got breathable panels, arch support, and my favourite, you've got a special Coolmax yarn that just wicks away the moisture. Slurps it up. What are these called? Sim Socks! If you fancied getting yourself a pair of Sim Socks, have a look in the description below, click on the link, you can order either small or large if you're a chunky boy, and get yourself an absolutely sterling bit of sim tech for your feet. I would say that most of these boys probably run round in socks, don't you? Probably. Oh, Chorus on the gravel. That was pretty close. I'd like to point out we're not being paid by SimSock, it's just quite funny. They are a good company, and they do sponsor Season 7, so if you are actually looking for a good set of footwear to be using to match your, I'm sure, beautiful sim rigs with your matching gloves and really nice Fanatec or Thrustmaster or Logitech gear, look no further than SimSock. I'm sure they're pretty comfy, I'm sure they're pretty supportive. We have got some moves going on. Cannabeach looks like he wants a bit of action because we've lost Dennis Latz. Where's Latz gone? He's in 18th position. He's pitted, that's why. And it's released Cannabeach. It's a fun track if you know the track. Exactly. Well, Darren King looks like he's holding up everyone now. Look at the snake behind him. Cannabeach looks like he's getting very restless behind Valentin Chorus, because Chorus unfortunately Just hasn't been able to make his way past Dow King at the moment. And it's causing a bit of a ruckus behind. Do you think we're going to see tears?
Not yet, no.
Well, we can't be too far behind. I don't think we're too far behind. So, pretty much 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th and 8th are separated by a second. So this is gearing up to be a battle in the desert at dusk.
A duel in the desert.
A duel in the desert. That's got to be one of my... Oh, Dow King puts a foot on the gravel going through. I think it's turn 6. And that's going to open up a little bit of a gap into the corkscrew. Oh, Chorus pushing his luck. And the door of Dow King. And he doesn't make his way past. But Cannabeach is right there, about to lick the wounds. And he does squeeze past, up into 5th possession. And Chorus, unfortunately, is going to have to settle. Oh, we had a little bit of a disconnect, but we're back in. We're all good. Almost looked like Cannabeach went off into Narnia. He's gone to play with the rattlesnakes out in the dunes, but he's actually back on track. And he's made his way up into 5th position. Wow. Okay. So apparently, Colm Sinnott is ever the attention viewer. He's saying that lap traffic pushed McIntosh away from Malinowski, which unfortunately has opened up the gap to 3.6 seconds. So interesting. We'll keep an eye on that gap for you guys. Obviously, you can see it too. It's on the screen the whole time. So do shout at me if you see that something's happening and I miss it, because 9 times out of 10 I do. This gap from 4th all the way back to 7th has opened up even more so. Dominic Goltz is now part of it too. Jeesh, look at them all go. Where's Chorus? Chorus is in. It's a good idea, actually, isn't it? Come in now, I think. Yeah, pits are starting to open. These top boys making moves. Cannabeach, I don't think he's going to be as friendly as Chorus was to Darren King. I think we might see some incidents going into turn 1 if some of these guys don't pull into the pits. So apparently Ryan got stuck behind a GTR. Who could have that been? That was probably Kevin. Kieran, sorry, Prendergast.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Because we were on board.
Veinlich is quite close to Prendergast at the moment.
He is, you're right, 3/10. That is pretty close. That's probably not going to stay that way around for much longer. Porsche versus Nissan round here is not going to be too fun for the Nissan. Don't think we've got anyone else jumping into the pit at the top end of the grid. Now, if you're Ryan McIntosh, do you try and pull the trigger early? I would. I'll probably be in now.
It'd probably be a pretty decent idea.
I mean, I guess if he wants to eke in a bit of that time onto Malinowski, he's got to do it sooner or later. Darren King's had a nightmare through 3. Cannabeach swerving left and right, showing that he's there. And we've got Goltz. I think that's a lapped car in the middle of them. Was that Fernandez? No, I think that is a lapped car. There's a Bentley in the way. Don't think that is Fernandez. Is that Vanbrugh? Can't see who's in that Bentley. I can see the paint scheme, but I can't remember who runs that paint scheme. Okay, King then has opened the floodgates. He's in the pit. I think it was Vanbrugh. You're right. Yes, it is. Yeah, Julian Vanbrugh, unfortunately, getting in the way. He is a lap down at the moment, and he's kind of got himself in a bit of a pickle. He's causing chaos for 4th position at the moment. All of this chaos, though, towards the top end, has mean that Luke Whitehead's been able to absolutely storm away into 3rd position. Don't think anyone's going to stop him. Right. Do we have anything from race control, Saf?
Not that I have seen so far. I shall check in a moment. Oh, we do actually. We have a 20-second penalty for car 333 for causing a moderate avoidable collision.
333.
And I believe that is Martinez.
It is David Martinez. So that was the incident that happened into turn 3 on lap 1 that we kind of missed because we went a little bit down the grid after the start. So it's just the one penalty then.
20-second and 2 license points. And then the other 2 incidents were no further action.
Okay. Yeah, we've not seen much damaging kind of crashes or anything like that. It's all been quite courteous. But Vanbrugh is really in the way at the moment for Samir. He's kind of stopping Samir from getting closer, I think, to Canna Beach. But it's all good for Canna Beach. Oh, Samir getting it all kinds of wrong into 3. And Galt's taking advantage. Up into 4th position then for Dominic, and Samir, unfortunately, just going slightly wide. I think he got a kick of oversteer, just exiting 3. Maybe just went out into the dust a little bit. And now they swapped round for now. Right, so Ryan McIntosh did indeed pit. Okay, so he is in, and this man is too. So Malinowski now sitting still, and he will do for about 30 odd seconds. A little splash of petrol, a couple of new boots, and he'll be on his way. Can you change tyres? No, you can't splash petrol. It's an hour-long race. Ignore me. It's just a change of tyres. So we'll stay with Malinowski because I'm very interested to see where he's going to come out. Whitehead obviously has gone past because he hasn't pitted just yet. But Ryan McIntosh is going to be hunting right now for position. And he's got, unfortunately, one of the Vanwall Simsport boys in front of him. I think that's Andy Vanderville, who's not getting out of the way because it is actually for position. Ryan, unfortunately, flashing his lights like a madman. He's trying to catch for the lead here, and it's not gonna end well for him. As Tortellini Malinowski's leaving the pit now, and I think that is going to be very, very tough. Yep, I think McIntosh has probably actually lost out time. He does slow down into turn 1 or 2 as it is now. Careful not to bin the car. It's a very weird pit exit, this one, but yeah, from the fail cam, that is a big fail. And Ryan McIntosh has lost out a huge amount of time. He's 10 seconds back from Malinowski on the last timing screen. That's going to eke out even further, I think, when we get through the next timer. Okay, it's come down. It's only 5.5 seconds, but it's still it's enough. I think he's actually got past Andy Vanderville now, and he's off on his way. But that cost him massively, and it's I think robbed us of a chance of seeing a change at the top end, which is a little frustrating, but never mind. We've got a couple of these boys are going to be coming in very soon. Canna Beach is in now too. Torre Grossa is in now as well, and we're going to see the likes of Ciclari, Latz, Wright and Chorus all going to be fighting for position here. So where is Kevin Ciclari? He's quietly been plugging away. Got an early pit stop, and he at the moment is in 9th position, but on aggregate he's going to be, at the moment he's in 3rd. Whether he's going to have is quite a big gap to McIntosh. He's going to see if he can beat these top guys coming out of the pits. So let's see how far he can get onto the back of Luke Whitehead before we go racing for Luke. I think he's out of the pit now. He's just leaving now. I mean, it's gonna be close, but I think Whitehead's gonna have it. I mean, it's closer than what it was with Malinowski and McIntosh. Just leaving the pit now. This is gonna be racy. Might even be Ciclari's position. He drives round the outside, but I think Whitehead's gonna get a closer run through 2, but he's going slowly because he's still in the pit lane. And that's job done with the early pit. So someone else we've lost touch with this race is Black Goldsaw. He did the early pit as well. He's actually standing still in the pit. I think he's out for the count, isn't he? He's done. Yeah, 3 laps down.
Yeah. There probably are some settings that went wrong or something.
Something must have just gone wrong for him. He wasn't able to come out. But that was, I think, what he was going for. What Ciclari was able to do. Up into 6th. Well, it will be 3rd position. Luke Whitehead losing out to Dennis Latz as well. So Luke's an absolute shocker in the pit. From 3rd position, he's down at the moment to 5th. And he's going to be a threat from these other guys who are going to come into pit now, like Goltz and Zelch. Okay, well, we'll stay with Kevin at the moment because he's kind of on the bubble for the pits. It is crazy that you can just pit just a couple of seconds before or after someone else and absolutely jump them. Ciclari's been able to absolutely monster people in this pit phase just by pitting much earlier. He pitted in the first 10 minutes.
Well, it looks like he will be taking 3rd once Fosher's pitted.
Yeah, I think so. Once it's all evened itself out. Latz has done a very good job to stay up where he is. He'll be promoted up to 5th position. Goltz has done good. Dowking has lost out a little bit. Chorus has stayed roughly where he is. Looks like Chorus has actually jumped a few people now. But yeah, Luke has really lost out because of that little pit phase. But this has released Chorus, so he can now doesn't have the obstruction of Darren King in front of him, so he can stretch his legs a little bit. Hopefully he's got Dennis Latz up ahead of him. Got a couple of seconds to get to him though. This is probably the next best thing though. Latz versus Whitehead for 4th position. It's probably the highest position Latz has been all season, I think, isn't it? Don't think I've seen him any further up.
Pretty much, I think, yeah.
Yeah, he's a leading Van Wall boy at least at the moment. Right, so we are just past halfway, only just ticked over, and everyone has pitted apart from Samir, who looks like he's probably going to pit pretty soon. Going long definitely isn't going to improve your chances, so he's going to have to come in sooner rather than later, I think. Otherwise he's going to start losing bunches of time to his competitors who have already pitted and are back on the way. What else have we got going back down the grid? We've got, I think, Cannabeach and Torregrossa are getting pretty close to each other. So's Weidelich on Prendergast. Oh, he has, yeah. Samir in the pit then. Malinowski is going to take the lead again of this race soon. And normal running is resumed. Where's Ryan? For good measure. He has actually closed the gap slightly. It was 5 seconds. It's now 3.5. So it's not all over. Ryan looks like he's done this second kind of phase of the race slightly better, at least the start of it, than his competitor, Malinowski. But maybe Malinowski's just managing the tyres, just getting into a rhythm. But we'll keep an eye on that battle towards the top end, but it is getting slightly spicy. This one's also getting spicy. Prendergast versus Weidelich. Weidelich, unfortunately, fighting in 13th position after what happened in turn 3 on lap 1. Definitely not had a fun afternoon at the moment, has he? Poor Luca. It was the best qualifying for Luca Weidelich for a long time, and unfortunately it was scuppered after a couple of metres of running. I'm glad they chose to run this one at night. It's a good race to watch at night. It's quite a small track though, isn't it?
Doesn't mean bad in any way, shape or form though.
No, but I guess because its location, it is still quite a hot track. 26 degrees, so, you know, lap time is still pretty fast. Track and temp normally stay together when the darkness comes. Luca Weidelich going on the outside of the corkscrew. That's pretty dangerous. Oh, and it happened. Prendergast and Weidelich crashing into the corkscrew, and I think Weidelich is going to probably wish he never made that move. I did think it was a bit adventurous when I saw him go to the outside into that corner. You can't really fit 2 people into that braking zone, and I think Luca's paid the price there, because he is he's lost a whole host of positions. I can't actually see him. There he is. He's lost 3 or 4 positions because of that. We won't see the true aftermath until they come across the line, and it all ticks through. There you go, you see him dance down towards the back now. It'll go behind Zelch, possibly, yep. Whew. Down in 18th position because of that very, very chance move into the corkscrew. Yeah, I'm not really too sure why you would try and overtake someone into the outside of the corkscrew. I think it's probably a little bit opportunistic. If you no longer go for a gap, memes are just flying around in my head right now. Not sure I would try it there. However, there is a battle brewing towards the top end between Luke Whitehead and Kevin Seclari. These guys are fighting for podium positions towards the front. The gap has eked out slightly with McIntosh and Malinowski. It's now outside of 4 seconds. It was 3.5 last time we checked, probably 2 laps ago. So Ryan slipping back slightly as Malinowski kind of opens up the tanks now into the second phase of this race. And I think he's going to be very hard to hold on to if he can't. If McIntosh can't get into a rhythm, they're having to deal with traffic, and maybe Malinowski's just dealing with it slightly better. But Luke's now trying to take back his podium that he was robbed of in the first pit phase. He's got an awful bit of competition ahead of him in 2-time championship winner Kevin Seclari. It's not going to be easy, but Luke is doing very well in the championship standings this season, so he won't want to be giving away too many points, especially not to this man, who is also fighting in the championship towards the top end. So this is going to be very, very hard fought, I think. And fair, though. I don't think I've seen any choice moves from Seclari all season. It's been pretty good, isn't it? Nip and tuck. Oh, there's a car off. Who was that ahead? I think it's someone who's down slightly.
58.
The 58 car. Who's that?
It's pretty low down.
Yeah, it looked like a Van Wall car, though. Was it Andy van der Waal? I can't see him on the... It looked either like an Aston or a McLaren, and it was grey and green, so I'm assuming it was a Van Wall Sim Sport car, but I didn't... Not too sure who it was.
50.
Luke going for the dive into turn 2. Hangs it...
Vanderbilt.
It was Van der Waal. Hangs it round the outside. Kevin Seclari getting the drive, though. It's so hard to overtake into turn 2. And he does try into 3. But, yeah, unfortunately, not got the run.
Oh, we've got a 45-second time penalty.
Who's that for?
That is for car 13 for an incident with 141. Lap 1, turn 10.
Lap 1, turn 10. That must be down into the corkscrew turn. Turn 10 is the second to last corner.
2 license points. Yeah. Penalty for car 13 for a rejoin resulting in 2 collisions.
Oh. Okay. So car 13.
That
is Hugo Möllers. Oh, Seclari's off in the corkscrew. He manages to gather himself, but Dennis Latz goes round the outside. I think he's going to pip him. No, he doesn't. Very, very cautious from Latz there. Latz almost had both positions in one corner. Kevin Seclari, absolutely amazing car control to manage to pull that boat back. That was, well, I don't think I've ever seen that before. He was on full opposite lock, 90 degrees facing the wrong way down the corkscrew, manages to gather it back and not lose a position. This is why this man's a 2-time champion with AOR. Man, I don't know how he was able to gain that car back. The in-car view of him must have been absolutely comedic. Trying to just soar away at the steering wheel to keep that one in a straight line. But he almost flies off into the barrier, but manages to compose himself and pull the car back. I don't think I've ever seen anyone pull a car back from that angle through the corkscrew. But the 2 boys behind him, credit to them, they didn't jump for it. They let him almost gather the thoughts and have another go. But woof, holy moly. I think that's probably the most impressive save I've ever seen in this game. Kevin Seclari, a.k.a. Spider-Man from Italia. The Italian Spider-Man. The Mediterranean man of 8 lives. How many lives have they got? No, they've got 8 legs. I reckon Spider's got 8 lives as well. Why not? He's definitely used one of them. Have another go at it, Kevin. There you go. That's how you do it. Luke is sitting there going, everybody gets one. but he's not going to hold fire anymore. If that was me, I would have been round the outside quick, and you can say pancakes, but that's probably why I'm not in Tier 1. Clenched bum moment, exactly. A lot of feces shooting out straight away there, but Kevin managing to hold on to it.
Penalty for it.
What's that? This battle is becoming rather spicy, and it's actually holding up a lot of people. Valentin Chorus has now joined the fray behind Dennis Latz. It's heating up. It's a little bit of a delay that Kevin Siclari is causing these boys because of his old tyres, because of his pit at the beginning, is causing them to bunch up a little bit. I think Connor Wright is just joining as well. And we've got Dowking and Goltz as well in the very back of the picture. If you have any more dramatics going into this this corkscrew, everyone is going to be nip and tuck and toe to toe. Slightly better there through the corkscrew. I mean, brown pants moments through the corkscrew normally end one way, right? So Kevin Siclari still third position. He's managing to hold position on track. Luke Whitehead being very patient behind. This is causing Dennis Latz to almost eke up close to them. I don't know where Luke could get this done, really. That Bentley's so quick out of the corners. Makes it almost impossible for him to run through three. Just got to wait for another mistake, but it's meaning that Latz, Chorus and Wright are able just to hold on to the back of this pack, and at the moment it's anyone's game for third position. Ryan McIntosh is still 3.5 seconds away from Malinowski, who's in a league of his own, it seems, this race. But this battle for third position at the moment could go to any of these guys. They're all just as fast as each other. But Dennis Latz is driving out of his skin this afternoon. We haven't seen him that high up, and he's managing to hold on to it. Siclari is doing a great job of defending. But again, it looks like just a matter of time before Luke can get this job done and move on up into third position and claim another podium for Season 7. On the defensive down into turn 11 then, Siclari manages to hold on for another lap. Luke Whitehead's got to be getting all sorts of angry now. Where can he get it done? Just send it round the outside of 2 and then just hope that he can hold on to him through 3. Trying all different lines here. We're getting held up by the Bentley yet again. Bentley's wider than the Grand Canyon at the moment. You still with us, Saf?
Yep.
Ah, good. I mean, what can he do here to try and get past?
I think he's just going to wait for a mistake for the tyres to die. I don't really think he can do much else.
Just keep the pressure on, I guess, and just hope for another, corkscrew incident. Not sure Kevin's going to do that again. So we've had 2 casualties of the corkscrew so far. One of them was able to save it. We had Luca off the track completely. We had Vanderbilt in the barrier off the sides. That's 3 actually then, of those that we've seen. Oh, look at the gap from McIntosh to Malinowski. 2.7. It was 3.5 earlier. So you never know. 17 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Luke looks like he's just got him a little bit pipped on the brakes, but that Bentley's just so good at driving away from the corners. Luke's going to have a real hard time with keeping the distance and keeping in that bubble. Like we were saying earlier, the lap is so close together throughout most of it. It's so hard to get into that slipstream and use that slipstream to be able to overtake, because it's just such a hard track to overtake on. It's great if you're slightly slower and you're the car in front, but for someone trying to make moves through the grid, it's almost impossible. As we've seen now, probably good 3 times. Chorus struggling to get past Dow King at the beginning.
Yeah.
Tough.
Bit tough.
Very.
Also, a gap at the top has come down to 1.8.
Ooh, interesting.
I wonder if Malinowski made a mistake, because I believe last night it was over 3.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that gap, definitely. 1.8, yeah, it's come down even more. Kevin had a very scrappy middle section of that lap, and it's definitely closed up much closer to Luke. Luke right on the back of Kevin Ciclari now. That gap has unfortunately opened up to 2 tenths, so now 2 seconds to the lead. Luke's going to have another go into turn 1, trying alternate lines again. Just gets to the first part of the apex of the corner, and he's just always got Kevin there. There's nothing he can do. These guys I think they're just identical on pace right now. I think if it was a clear track, I think probably Kevin's that little bit slower because of his tyres. But everyone else behind seems to be almost bang on the same pace. At least in this top 7 fight we've got now. Right, so we're 3/4 down, only 15 to go. We've got a real good fight going on for 3rd position right now. It's pretty much what we've been focusing on the whole time. It's just swapping around who's actually fighting for it. At the moment, it's Luke Whitehead and Kevin Ciclari. Oh, Luke getting so close through the corkscrew, almost bouncing off the back. Sparks flying as they come through. And Luke is willing himself past Kevin at the moment, but Kevin doing an absolutely sterling job of staying in front. Yeah, a masterclass of defence here from the Italian. As again, he denies him any chance of getting past. I'm surprised we haven't got Lats and Chorus knocking on the door behind. I think we will do soon if this continues. Again, dancing to the outside of turn 2. And as he cuts back, he's just always got that block in the road. And Kevin's just not letting have it any distance there, going defensive into 3 on the inside. Luke, unfortunately, having to go the long way round and loses himself some time. This battle is definitely hotting up now. Dennis Latz is looking noticeably closer to. This continues at this kind of pace, I think we're going to see an incident. Oh, he's got a brilliant drive. Oh, and there is a touch. Kevin Ciclari pulls over one too many times, and Luke Whitehead couldn't get out of it that time, and that sent the Italian man off and into the gravel. I think he's managed to save it, and he's in 6th position now, but Luke Whitehead into 3rd. Kevin coming across to block pretty much for the probably 100th time, and Luke just saying, no, I'm not moving anymore. I've got gravel on the outside of me. I can't do anything about it. I can't lift here. And at that point, curtains. Ciclari down to 5th position. Fends off Chorus. Dennis Latz up into 4th. Luke Whitehead in the podium. Woof! Fireworks.
Absolutely, and there's still 13 minutes to go. For all we know, the leaders could still crash.
Yeah, look at the gap now.
1.6.
Yeah, it's got to be almost visibly. Almost the gap. He must be able to sniff him. You can. He can sniff the tortellini. He can smell the win. Ryan McIntosh going for the fight. Maybe he was just holding back on his tyres, just seeing what he could do. Tortellini's got a bit of traffic as well. 1.39. Malinowski's in trouble here. Strange. Blue flags are out. Can the Drip Ganassi man make his way to his first win of Season 7? It's Malinowski's win to lose. Currently leading the championship with Luke Whitehead. Both on 247 points each. We've got a lapped car here, just slightly in the way, but very courteously gets out of it. As Ryan...
Yellow flag 29's gone off.
Oh, who's 29?
That's Vidley.
Oh, gee. Bad to worse then for Luca. Where's that? That must have been...
That was before the corner before where Malinowski went off in qualifying.
Oh, Ryan McIntosh running the driver's side car into the gravel through turn 10. Not turn 10, sorry, turn 6. Just before the corkscrew. Doesn't lose that much time, but definitely had to get out of it. Otherwise, he would have taken a trip off into the kitty litter. That was on the limit. I'm not actually sure how he kept it on. Incredible stuff from Ryan. We're seeing some really, really good control driving this afternoon. But
yeah, down to 1.4.
I've got a funny feeling we're going to see a penalty come up for Luke Whitehead, and I really hope we don't. But hey, that little tap is, yeah, we'll see what happens there a little bit later on. I think there was a fight going on almost between Kevin Lewin and Fernandez, someone saying in the chat. It's a little bit away at the moment from what we're watching, so we'll stay on board with these boys. Valentin Corus getting very close to Kevin Seclari. It's just, I think what we found out from Laguna Seca is so hard to overtake.
Yeah.
We got Hardenberg and Martinez with penalties, 5 seconds and 20 seconds. Has there been an update in race control of recent?
Yes, 2 5-second penalties.
Okay.
One for car 13 for not holding their brakes after losing control of their car, causing a dangerous situation.
Ooh.
And one for car 66 for causing a minor collision.
That's Julian Hardenberg, that's why he's got a 5-second. And so David Martinez, 333, that's from a while ago then maybe. 20-second penalty he's got to serve at the end of the race, that'll get added to his time. It's a shame for him. The gap 1.4 then to the leader. So, big gaggle of blue flags coming up for Mr. Tortellini. So this is just willing Ryan on at the moment. You always follow and you can always gain time in your competitor. So, I'm not surprised to see the gap come down to almost a second now. We're going to see a fight for the end here. That's what everyone wants. A battle for the lead. Ryan McIntosh having an absolutely brilliant race this race. This is the highest we've seen him. Obviously it's a Porsche track, but still doing very well in second position. And just coming across the line where he is at the moment is probably an achievement in itself, as both McIntosh and Malinowski get out onto the gravel. Malinowski's dealing with a lot of blue flag here.
Sebastian Vettel would be having a farce.
He would. He'd be screaming, wouldn't he? He'd be singing. And Vanbrugh is up next. He got in the way earlier on. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way. He is going to get in the way to the corkscrew. This is going to hurt McIntosh. Vanbrugh then gets out of the way, but oh no, we have got lots of cars into the corkscrew. This is not good news for the battle. Finally, he does let him pass. I would have thought it probably would have been easier to let him pass before the corkscrew, but never mind. There we go. This gap's going to eke out then, I think, to furthest we've seen in a little while now because of that. Unfortunately, McIntosh not getting the luck through the gaggle of blue flag. And I think it was probably going to be at 1.5 now, if not more. Let's have a look as they come across the line. Oh, it's huge, yeah. 1.5, unfortunately. The fight then goes on for another couple of laps. We're running out, though. 8 minutes to go. Let's go on board with this little battle. We've got Valentin Corus and Kevin Seclari battling out for 5th position. We've also got Goltz and King going on for 9th and 8th, so we should have a look on both of these battles, I think. Goltz getting very close to the back of Dow King, I think. You'll see them come around the corner in a minute. Whereabouts are they? There you go. A little bit further away than we'd hoped. 1.6 the gap now to the lead. And unfortunately those blue flags causing a ruckus at the end of this race. And it came all at the wrong time, didn't it? All through the corkscrew. It's definitely not what you want to see. Who's your standout driver for this one so far, do you reckon?
Oh, I actually don't know. That's a hard question. Possibly Whitehead.
I mean, he's battled for 3rd again to get back to where he was after a bit of a disastrous lap. But just going on previous, like, look how high McIntosh is. I know he's got a Porsche, but, you know, look at Luca. He's had a disaster of a race because of incident after incident. He's down 21st. It's probably not what he was expecting with a Porsche. Yeah, Latz is having a very good race in 4th position. He's manages to keep his nose clean, I think, and just jump up when he's had the incidents happen in front of him. Yeah, for me, probably Latz or McIntosh. Chorus has done well in that car. It's not a brilliant car, is it? The GTR. It's a bit of a boat. There's a bit of a boat battle going on now. Kevin Ciclari's car, I think, is a little bit damaged. That's why he's becoming a little bit under threat here from Chorus. But Chorus is always very courteous, so I don't think he's just going to absolutely send it. I think he's going to wait for the right opportunity. And I really hope there's not going to be a penalty for Luke Whitehead after that incident with Ciclari. But you never know. Gap to the lead's come down now, 1.2. We've got 5 minutes remaining. Just looking at the pace of how it's come down, I'm not sure. Oh, it's under a second. Who knows? Shall we?
Maybe.
I think so. The gap is noticeably smaller now. I think we should ride on board with McIntosh. Do you reckon the fun cam will work? No, the Porsche is not great for the fun cam. Got a big, like, flap that blocks most of the screen on the right hand side. I guess it's alright. It's not as bad as the Bentley.
No.
You get to see him really work. I'm talking about when they're inside the car. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Just say the fun cam. Oh, he's done it again onto the kitty litter. McIntosh holding on, but that's going to lose him time. So where's Malinowski going wrong? Because he's obviously losing time to McIntosh behind, but I'm not too sure where it is that he's losing the time. He didn't look too fast through the corkscrew in comparison. Oh, McIntosh going to understeer through 10. Or 9, sorry. So we come through 10. Very unlike the Porsche to see understeer like that. Held on, but he would have had to lift there. Gap now nearly half a second. Or just over half a second. It's actually gone up to 7/10. We come down to turn 2, which should be turn 1, but it isn't because of a kink. Friends with both, but pulling for Ryan on this one. You know, I think it'd be great to see Ryan come away with a win. It'd be great for the championship if Malinowski doesn't. Seeing Malinowski and Luke Whitehead finish 2nd and 3rd would be great for championship hopes for Luke. But, yeah. I think it'd be good for everyone watching to see something different. And this man can do it. If Ryan McIntosh can get his nose ever closer to Tortellini, then we might see a change of the lead. But he's hanging it out like an absolute loony through 6. Seems like Tortellini is saving fuel. You might be right. This might be saving fuel for Mr. Tortellini. That's maybe why he's a bit slower. We'll be able to see on the straights desperately. This is a good track to be able to save fuel, though, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because it's far more corners than straights, and the straights there are usually aren't too long, except for the main straight.
Yeah, he's munching him down the straight bits. Let's watch as we go into turn 1 and 2. Maybe he's switching it around, keeping it in max down the straight, but then when we go through the twisties, notching the engine down. Clever Malinowski. Yeah. Wise old Tortellini. What have we got going on behind? We don't want to miss some battles going on. We've got Chorus still 3/10 away from Ciclari. As we've seen, though, he might be able to get onto the bumper, but he's got to get past Malinowski. It's not all said and done. Malinowski hanging it out wide then, through 4. And the gap has eked out to nearly a second. McIntosh, it seems that he's almost thrown away his opportunity to get it done. He's got a hope for an incident from the Polish man in front. I'm not sure Ryan's going to get what he's after, but we have got blue flags coming up. That's Kevin Niels, isn't it, in the Bentley ahead. and giving us a nail-biting finish to the end of this race. Kevin Niels hopefully moves out of the way for these guys. I wouldn't like to see him hold them up, as he does, yet. Gets well out of the way. Good stuff from him. Nice, fair racing. He's down a little bit this afternoon. Not able to stay with the pace. Maybe had a few incidents of his own, as they both passed a stricken black gold saw in the pit. He's not had a good afternoon. From a failure of qualifying session to not setting a time until 2 minutes remaining to then not making it to the grid. He's having a Charles Leclerc-esque qualifying session and race. When will that man get a freaking break at Monaco, right?
Yeah.
Every single time he's raced at Monaco, he's DNF'd.
Or deal not started in this case.
Yeah. In Formula 1 at least.
Yeah. No, in F2 he's DNF'd there as well.
Has it? Oh, gee.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think 2018, 2017 he didn't finish there in F2.
It's tough, isn't it? Tough breaks. I think it might be on last lap, you know. The timer is ticking. 30 seconds to go. We're only halfway at corkscrew with 30 seconds. Ooh, it's going to be close. I think Malinowski might be able to get round, you know. 20 seconds. We run to the line. We might have one more, you know, Saf. I think we're going to have another lap on our hands. McIntosh breathes easy. And you know what? I don't know. We've got 5, 6, 4. No, I think we'll be done. Oh, just by the skin of his teeth. No, we are done. Malinowski comes across and claims his, I think, second or third win for Season 7. I think it's second win. And Ryan McIntosh, brilliant drive from him, comes across the line in second position. And then this man here, Luke Whitehead, managing to hold on and scalp third from Kevin Ciclari after an absolute masterful defence. But unfortunately came unstuck through 6 and caused, in my opinion, the incident that sent him flying off into the gravel. But I'm sure that will be discussed afterwards. But really good points from this man. Great pace coming off a win from last week. He's in third. We've got Dennis Latz coming across in fourth. Best finish for him so far. Kevin Ciclari then limping over for fifth with Valentin Kors still on his bumper. With Connor Wright, Darren King, Dominic Goltz, Alex Terragrossa and Cannabeach all crossing the line together. Samir Foch comes across to Malon Andrade is just about to round. He's had a bit of a lonely old race. He's in 13th. And then Kieran Prendergast. It looks like we've got a bit of a fight going on behind with Zelch. No, it's a little bit further off. So Kieran coming across in 14th. Lewis Zelch is going to come across in 15th. And Volcom in 16th position. I think everyone else is off the lead lap. And we are done, I think, for Laguna Seca. Yeah. Fernandez in 17th. Then Luke of Eierlich really having an awful race in 18th position. Kevin Loane is going to absolutely bleed points now. He's definitely going to go down. He's 19th position after a terrible qualifying for him. Julian Harnberg in 19th. Julian Vanbrugh in 20th. McLaren Niels was all off the pace as well. He's in 21st. Hubert Simoninski in 22nd. 23rd Martinez. Jordan Soanes was 24th. 25th Vandervelde. 6th was Kleinschmidt. He got himself up there. Prima Sant, Hugo Merles, Kevin Niels, Hamza Bedasim, and then we got Black Gold Saw and Ola Pitic in 31st and 32nd. Unfortunately, not reaching the end, so no points for them. Congrats indeed on the podium. That was some race. Let's just see if I can get the beginning. We can see what happened into turn 1. It'll be very interesting if we can, but I'm not sure if I can. Let's see. I might have absolutely broken it. No, I can't. I'm too far gone, unfortunately. Right, let's see if we've got anyone available. Or are you still able to view turn 3, lap 1?
I should still be able to. Give me a moment.
Un momento.
Un momento, Macalino.
While you get that ready, I think I'll grab Tortellini in and Ryan and Luke and we'll have a little chat, if that's okay.
That's no problemo.
Malinowski, what an epic race.
Oh, hello.
How are you doing? Holding off Ryan there at the end. Were you saving fuel by any chance?
No, I just had wrong pressures in both stints. I just fucked up the pressures and the preparation for race. I mean, I didn't practice for the race because I had to do other stuff. So I just jumped into this area 30 minutes before the race started. Just checked pressures, and they were wrong anyway. So, so in the first stint they were like low 28s.
Okay.
But that was still not in the window. And in the second stint they were low 27s. I put them down by like a few clicks, but they went totally super low. So I was struggling in both stints with not only grip but like stability and balance of the car. But yeah, start was good. I don't know what happened to Ryan, to be honest, at the very first corner, but I got the move done around the outside, had to squeeze him a bit to take the corner. And well, then it wasn't straightforward because I had to defend from him and really, really keep focused. But yeah, P1, good points for the championship. I was just hoping for more guys in between me and Luke, but GG to him for P3.
Yep. I mean, you're now leading the championship. You've gapped Luke by a couple of points now. Obviously, you were tied. A lot of people, me included, were all trying to shout for Ryan to see if he could pip you at the end there, because it would do wonders for the championship, and also it would get Ryan his first win. But I think you did an absolute sterling job, considering that your tyres were out of the operating window. So you dropped them down then. So what is roughly the operating window for the tyres around here?
So the tires for those cars, for GT3 cars, they're relatively the same for every single car, every single track. So we want to keep them in like mid 27s to high 27s. But also for me the problem was that not only they went down, but mainly fronts were down. So like the balance of the car moved to the oversteer, plus the pressures being lower at the front like gave the car a bit of rake, just a bit. But because both of the axes were out of the operating window, the car just went into oversteer. So it was not only low grip, but also out of balance.
We did see you struggling a little bit. I think through the corkscrew as well, Ryan was able to eat away at you. But hey, you kept it on track. There were no, as I can see, visible mistakes. So you get yourself maximum points, which is the main thing for the championship. That was the main goal, yes. You held on to it through the very Porsche-esque track anyway. So yeah, maximised your points. So well done.
Thank you.
No problem at all. I'm gonna get Ryan. And you can stay here if you like, Malinowski, for a little bit. We'll get Ryan
sure,
in, get his comments too. Ryan, epic job, mate. You managed to hold on to second position. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get within touching distance of Mr. Tortellini here. But still, your best result so far for Season 7. You must be pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm really happy, to be honest. Didn't really expect to be in Tier 1 this season to begin with. So to be up there with all the amazing guys, top tier guys, it's pretty epic feeling.
I mean, after the overtake at the beginning, obviously Malinowski got round the outside of, I think it's probably the only person to get round the outside of someone into turn 2. A lot of people trying it, but not pulling it off. I think you went a little bit conservative, beginning of the race, a little bit understandable. But you managed to, the gap opened up to about 3, sometimes 5 seconds, but it was yo-yoing up and down. But I think Malinowski said that the issue came mainly in the second phase after the pit stop with his tyres. Did you have any problems with that, or were you bang on with your pressures?
I was banging on with pressures. It was more like in the first lap I hit the wall on the inside.
Oh really? Running down to turn 2?
Yeah, because I'm an epic gamer. But it was more, my tyres were perfect, so it's traffic really. I think played a lot of role in the end.
Yeah. I think in the first stint there was one lap when some guys went for the undercut, and they rejoined in front of us, and I managed to overtake them, and Ryan just got stuck behind them, unfortunately, and I gained mainly then that delta on him, that gap. And then it was just all seconds in him trying to get that back. So I was struggling both with the car, maybe a bit more with the traffic in the second stint. I was maybe that touch more unfortunate. I don't know how it looked like from his perspective back there. It was like yo-yoing like that, like you said, for the whole race.
we saw. I think in the second phase after the pit, towards the end, when you were catching Ryan, there was an incident with back markers going into the corkscrew where they didn't know what to do. They should have, they decided to give you the position after the corkscrew when really they probably should have given it to you before the corkscrew. But hey, I think it's racing. I mean, you come away with huge points, Ryan. It's going to help your standings in the championship massively. So you should be pretty happy with second.
Yeah, exactly. So it's now moving on, trying to do well in the rest of the races.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. That Porsche seems to go round well everywhere, to be honest. But obviously, getting a second position in pretty much Porsche land is good work. Right, I'm going to drag down Mr. Luke, who didn't have it easy, but he managed to come away with third position, so we'll bring him down. Luke Whitehead managing to get yourself on the podium yet again, off the bounce of a win last time. Man, you must be feeling pretty lucky.
Definitely. I'm quite shocked, actually. I got quite lucky at the start, obviously, with Martinez, I believe, and Vidalik, coming together. I felt bad for Vidalik. He was going to probably be P3. I think, the Porsches were a lot quicker here. I think I was about a second off the pace of the Porsches, and I think I was the best of the rest in terms of race pace. So, I got the maximum out of today's race. It wasn't necessarily the way that would have been the best. There's a bit of contact, and I couldn't have done anything differently. I went for a move on Kevin. As I go alongside him, he moves and blocks. And when I'm approaching at that speed, you can't do those moves. And he paid the price for it, and I couldn't have done anything differently. And the pace was much bigger anyway. So, yeah, it was only a matter of time. But yeah, I couldn't have done anything differently. I'm happy with how I drove. And as you say, another podium, which is huge. Really, really good. I'm really very, very happy with it. The consistency has been brilliant, and I just want to keep it going now.
Yeah, I think you got a lot of fans in the chat cheering you on to get good positions. So I'm glad that you get another podium. Obviously, unfortunately, Malinowski has gapped you a little bit now. You were even, so you got to come back and fight through the next ones. But just touching on the incident with Kevin, Kevin was defending so hard, and he was weaving a lot over the track, but it all seemed fair. But going to the inside out of turn 6, obviously I think it will be looked at, and my opinion is just my opinion, but I'm in the same camp as you. You can't do that going down that speeds, and especially when you're pretty much on his rear wheel on the left hand side there. He decides to turn in, and that was his undoing, and unfortunately he dropped 2 positions because of it. But yeah, I think you did a really good job holding your line there, and unfortunately Kevin paid the price, but I think you had it on pace on him anyway at the end. I think you probably would have got past him if he made another mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it is all, he's already collided once briefly at the corkscrew, a similar thing. I pulled out a little bit to try and, scare him off the apex, and then he, moves in the braking and we touch, so again, something you really can't do. But yeah, as you say, it was only a matter of time. I think I had about 7 or 8 tenths a lap on those guys. So, the pace was really good. I'm really happy with my consistency. And yeah, as you say, holding my line was really important there. I didn't do anything wrong. I had no reason to back out, and I think hopefully hopefully people will know not to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. But apart from that, really respectful race. I really enjoyed it. It was really good fun, and obviously up until that point, the battle with Kevin was really good. He understandably really wanted to keep that position because
of course he did.
He wasn't quite as fast.
I'm just looking at that incident. I'm just looking at that incident in the replay in slow motion. Kevin moved the wheel to the left, even in slow motion, literally at the very same moment as you went for the move to the inside. So I think it was,
very unlucky.
He did that a bit too late. He should have expected you to go there anyway. So he did that really, really late. One of those things. But
what lap was that on?
I see it on lap 33.
33. Okay, I do have the replay, so we could actually just have a look together. What number are you?
That's
Luke?
turn 6.
I'm 408. So
number 408.
I think the timestamp is a 51:33, around that mark. At least it is for me. So
yeah, but
but yeah, when I'm 0.1 seconds behind, and I make a move, then he's always going to make it slightly afterwards, and I think it's a difficult one when you're that close.
What lap was it on there? Sorry, Luke. Sorry to interrupt
lap 33, middle of lap 33.
Okay, obviously,
but yeah,
this is we're only looking at this on a an outsider's perspective.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously,
I mean, it was an unfortunate incident regardless. I think if I was probably a tenth or two behind, it would have been completely fine. You know, I think it was just an unfortunate situation with how close we were, and obviously the pace differential didn't help either. But you know, it is what it is. That stuff happens in racing. I think you know you even see it in the higher levels of motorsport. Moves like that are kind of, you know, they go wrong. You know, they're plane crashes. So yeah. But yeah, I'm happy with the race result. Well done to Matt Check and to Ryan. You know, those two drove brilliant races respectively, and yeah, no one has a chance against them. Absolutely no one. So I'm excited for the next races, though.
Yep. I think you all drove very well. So congrats to everyone on the podium, boys. Obviously, we'll see you not next week, but the week after, and we will be racing round
Mount Panorama.
Yeah,
and mixed conditions.
Nice, that should be fun.
44% weather forecast, 44% dry, 56 wet, 57, almost 60% chance of changeable conditions. That will be so interesting.
I want rain. I love rain.
Do your rain dances, boys. Hopefully we see some crazy rain coming mid-race. Maybe, you never know.
That would be fun. It would certainly mix things up.
Going up the hill in wet conditions is going to be crazy, boys. Get your practice in. You got 2 weeks. We'll see you then.
Awesome stuff. Take care, people.
Oh, there will be a lot of rain. Mount Panorama rain. Zolder rain.
Hopefully.
Imola rain.
It gives good racing. That's what we want to see. We want to see lots of rain. Bring on the rain. I, for one, am dancing for rain right now.
Let's go.
Let's go for rain, boys.
Let's go.
We'll catch you soon. Like I say, get your practice in, and we'll catch you on a couple of weeks' time.
Cheers.
No problem. Speak soon. Speak soon. Right, Mr. Saff, did you have that incident into turn 1 that we could just quickly look at before we round out?
Well, lap 1, not turn 1.
Was it lap 1, turn 1?
No, not lap 1, turn 1.
Lap 1, turn 3.
3.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Right. Let me just
we will very quickly just revisit this because I think it's very, it's a very good incident.
Onboard fighter from the Helicampion.
Unfortunately, guys, you're going to have to ignore the quality. It is via Discord. Oh, okay. Just get a little bit of a rewind on that.
Yep.
And that's the rejoin as well. There we go. Oh, he got a little bit too late into 3, and he got a tap from behind from Kevin Ciclari too. And there was incidents going on before Luca tried to join.
Yeah.
Oh, carnage. Who was that? Oh, it was because of what happened with Kevin. It caused a... Oh no, look, on the outside, look, one of the Van Wall boys getting into the inside of someone else, look. Oh, gee. It's because everyone was being very cautious on the brakes and it just caused absolute carnage.
Yeah.
And that was Black Goldsaw then trying to weave his way through. Or was he still further back? Blimey. Okay. Well, I think Black Goldsaw came through after that, and then Luca unfortunately jumped back into the pits. Well, there we go, boys. This isn't the end of the racing for now. For today it is. We will be back for Tier 2 tomorrow at the same time, at the same place, at 7:30, where we've got a little bit more racing around Laguna Seca, and then we've got a little break before we go to Mount Panorama. But for everyone, for Tier 1, I think that's a wrap. Anything to end on, Saf?
No. Bring on tomorrow next week.
Yep. Tomorrow first, then we jump up to Mount Panorama. So we'll see you then, guys. Have a good evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow.